Hello and welcome to my Suship deck profile. Disclaimer, this deck is very bad. So if you genuinely want to just have some fun, then obviously you will play this and you will win absolutely nothing if you do. So, without further ado, we'll get into the deck profile. Of course, this deck is go second, so we need to start with the Suship engine. So we have Suship Shari, the Yummy Yelp review. It is just a Yelp review on a boat with literally nothing on it. It is completely bland. I imagine it tastes awful. Other than that, you kind of need it. Otherwise, the deck's really bad. Can't play without it because everything needs this to be on field or in hand to actually work. We have Ikura. Literally excavate the top three. Try and summon one of these guys. You're not going to excavate this card. You don't play the field spell to shape this card on top of the deck. You just use it for an extra summon. As the same for the Shirauo, or whatever it's called. Yeah, I don't think bean sprouts are that yummy. And of course you have caviar, which I imagine is better. Either way, they're just rubbish level 4 extenders. It is a bad Utopia deck. The idea is just to genuinely summon this guy and then get free extenders. The new one is actually the best one because it acts as Shari in hand. So if you open another one, that also counts. So you can summon this one and the other copy of it. Other than that, its only purpose is to act as another big level 4. And your last Suship card is Uni, which is the 5. It is more so just because it is a free summon and can shape your levels. So you can make the 5. But again, why would you? It's just pointless. So, yeah, that win condition, we'll get into the Suship win conditions if there are any. But honestly, the deck is bad. So we need to play board breakers in order to make the deck look relatively okay. And then your opponent is immediately disappointed by the fact that you're playing big rice balls. Divincarnate, outer board. You can search this off a Small World, which is the best application this has, same as Dogoran and Gameciel, because all the Suships are fires, and these have got nothing to do with aquas, so you can just grab these. And this is an aqua that has absolutely nothing to do with fire level 4s or its stats. So all of these you can grab off of Small World. The entire gimmick of why this deck won't catch people out is the adventure package. So you activate Rite to summon a token and place adventure, and then the adventure obviously tries to search Gryphon, which is a negate. Your opponent obviously has to use something on this. So the idea is either to force out a hand trap, or you can establish a negate before you actually start playing. And if your opponent is blind to what you're doing, then of course they might be in a bit of trouble, simply because Wandering Gryphon Rider is just an Omni negate. So the idea is to establish this first. I never expect this to resolve, and if it does, you've actually got half a chance of winning the game, provided you've drawn 2 level 4s. And of course we have Small World, which is just rotor for everything in the deck, and Unexpected Dai, which is just E-Telly for everything in the deck. Because you get the vanilla, and that enables all your extra Suships in hand. But again, once this is burnt, it's really bad, and it is a dead draw, since you will control the vanilla or the token. Forbidden Droplet. You kind of need it if your opponent's wise and puts you in to go first. So you side the third. So if you do have to go first, you can always just set this card and then spring it on them when they're trying to play. And hopefully you're a good enough timer to interrupt their combo and have half a chance of pretending that you can play next turn. Or just as a general thing, you can just keep having your opponent's monsters attacks, and then hopefully you can make enough bodies where you can make enough XZs to then maybe get your opponent's life points to 0. But that's a big if, and always is. We play 3 Triple Tactics Thrust. This searches any spell trap in the game. Mandatory for this deck. You're going second. You need your opponent to try and interrupt you or activate monster effects, so you can constantly just keep grabbing Small World. If you chuck a Small World out and it gets negated, then you can just grab another one and reuse it, provided the activation was negated. So this is literally rotor for everything in the deck. So if you draw it, then you might have half a chance. And then you have Triple Tactics Talent, which is kind of like, well, if I can't win this turn, then again, I'll pretend that I can maybe get it next turn. And of course we play one Lightning Storm, just so we have an extra target for thrust if we genuinely need to go against control, and get rid of the back row. Although it can be, this can actually quite backfire, because you are going to control face-up continuous spells like Fateful, and you've obviously got the token, so you need to be careful with Lightning Storm and make sure that you don't conflict with it. And of course, one double or nothing for the only win condition this deck has that is, you know, the gimmick. It's the only win condition it has that can just deal all the damage in one sweep. So, for the extra deck, we have Class Carrier. It draws a card. Its other effect is completely irrelevant. It won't ever come up. Dreadnought. You draw a card. It might be able to attack twice. Who knows? But you need the Caviar guy underneath it and Shari. So that's why you're kind of not going to get these effects off. They're not good at all. And again, Uni-class Super-Dreadnought. You make this with Uni, provided you've shaped Shari's levels with the Uni, and then if you get this underneath it, then you draw a card and do some battle shenanigans. But so we ignore these. We play them because we just have to. Like, it wouldn't be Suship if we didn't have the big ones as well. So for the actual package, Tornado Dragon. If you're against control, you lose. And if you have to go first, you also lose. So you might as well try and prevent how quickly you lose by getting a double MST. So you put this up, your opponent sets a card, you go nope, and then they proceed to set 4 and you lose anyway. Or you go in second, you destroy one of their set 5, and then you still lose because they're not that good. Abyss Dweller, if you are fortunate enough to establish this against Tear or Unchained, you might actually get to about turn 5 before you lose. Which, as I say, it's pretty mandatory for this in a rank 4 deck, so you go first, you have to make that. Going second, it absolutely does nothing, so you really can't even play this going second. And then, if you want to make a Giant Zeus, then of course you've got to play Checker 9 and Bulbo. You hard make Checker 9 with 2 level 4s, and then you whack Bulbo straight on top of it. You can attack directly with Bulbo. It's got 3 materials, and then you just put Zeus straight under on top of Bulbo, which is a double send Zeus, which might actually just be the only occasion where you might win, because you can just keep attacking with Zeus, but the rest of the Zeus ships are actually very small. Your adventure package, once that's burnt, is pretty much gone, so you're not getting that back anytime soon. So it's all in or nothing for this deck. You have Utopia double. That is the biggest win condition for the deck. You make 2 level 4s, you detach this card, detach a card off of Utopia double, search double or nothing, you whack the normal Utopia on the top of Utopia double, you attack, you negate its own attacks by detaching one, and then because an attack was negated, you can activate double or nothing, which then puts Utopia to 10k in the damage stat, which causes you to win. Provided that all goes smoothly. 1 copy of Lightning. Sometimes there are cards on the field that you just cannot out with your normal engine, so you are just going to have to make a giant 5k beat stick that prevents your opponent from activating cards in the battle phase. And then 2 Zeus. Occasionally you might get to the second. 2's just smart, just in case you are fortunate enough that your opponent has bricked, and you might get to turn 3 before you lose. TY-PHON, because I think this sums this up pretty well. If you're making TY-PHON, it indicates to your opponent you have nothing left, and they can pretty much kill you if they have a full combo in hand. So TY-PHON's all in or nothing. And then Little Knight. So Little Knight is mandatory at the minute. It's just a nice little link too. Sometimes you can't just make that rank 4, so you're ending up making Little Knight with a token or a loose body and a Suship. So you leave Little Knight out, and hopefully a double banish is enough. So yeah, that is pretty much it for Suship. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think, tell me how bad the deck is, because I trust you, I know. But yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.